If you're a fan of Netflix's 80s-inspired sci-fi phenomenon Stranger Things, then we know what you did last summer. Wait for season 4, of course. After what seems like forever now, our favorite bunch of nerds are nearly back. With May 27th just around the corner, we thought it's the perfect time to dig a little deeper into the adorable, now all grown-up cast of the insanely hit series. Let's get to it. First up, we have the super powerful, ego-loving Eleven, aka Elle. Millie Bobby Brown struck gold with the Duffer series when she auditioned for the role. Although she'd been part of the TV scene for quite some time with appearances in Grey's Anatomy and Modern Family, it wasn't until Stranger Things that Brown really shot to fame, and now she has a huge fan base. Not surprising considering how talented she is. Brown seems like a ball of fun and energy, but did you know that the 18-year-old has trouble hearing? According to reports, she was born with partial hearing loss, and eventually, after years of tubes, the hearing completely faded away in one of her ears. So when she's performing, either acting or singing, she can't fully hear herself. That kind of changes how you see her on screen, doesn't it? Next, Dacre Montgomery gave a shirtless audition. When bad boy Billy first appeared in Stranger Things Season 2, fans knew there was a new bully in town. However, unlike reformed jock Steve Harrington, he was wild and pretty darn scary. Turns out, Dacre Montgomery is equally wild. Not in the scary sense, though. Apparently, the actor auditioned for the role of Billy shirtless. If you look at his audition tape, which you totally can on YouTube if you're interested, Dacre read his lines and even danced shirtless in between scenes while trying for the role. We're not entirely surprised he got the part. Guess it makes sense that he was shirtless in most of Season 3. And now, Natalie Dyer starred with Miley Cyrus. Apart from big names like Winona Ryder, most of the show's cast was fairly new to the world of acting, at least acting in something as big as Stranger Things. However, all the young stars did have some experience from much smaller roles on screen. While Millie Bobby Brown made a few appearances in TV shows here and there, young Natalie Dyer shared the screen with Miley Cyrus. That's right, folks, before she was Miss Popular Nancy Wheeler, Dyer was a die-hard Hannah Montana fan, at least on screen. Her first acting gig was way back in 2009 in Hannah Montana the Movie, where she portrayed the role of Clarissa Granger. If you can't remember who that was, don't sweat it. 2009 was a long time ago, so it's okay if your memory is a little hazy. After all, you were more invested in the whole Miley-Hannah drama. Clarissa was actually one of the daughters of the conflicted, somewhat sleazy journalist Oswald Granger, who wanted to expose the pop star's double life secret, but eventually decides against it because of his girls. Now, that's what we call a small but pivotal role. Up next, Dacre Montgomery, a bad boy turned superhero. When he's not playing Hawkins' bully turned martyr, Montgomery likes to mix things up and switch his sides to save the world. The actor starred in the 2017 Power Rangers film. If you haven't seen the movie, we bet you wouldn't be able to guess Dacre's role. We'll save you the suspense. He played Jason Lee Scott, aka the Red Ranger. Who would have thought Billy had the makings of a superhero? And not just any hero, the leader of the pack. Guess that says a lot about Dacre as an actor. Next, Shannon Purser had an ordinary day job. Let's double back to season 1 for a bit. Steve is a jerk. Nancy is attracted to all his bad boy glory, and she is a terrible friend to Barb. Remember her? The not-so-popular friend who was pretty much the first one to get sucked into the Upside Down? Well, turns out she had an ordinary day job working at the movie theater. Interestingly enough, she decided to continue with it even after her on-screen stint. That is until Barb became one of the more popular characters on the show. Of course, she was no Nancy, but that's exactly why people loved her character so much. But apparently she had to quit her job when Barb shot to fame because fans would stop coming to her work to meet her. I mean, would you miss out on meeting your favorite character if they were just around the corner? Here's a bonus little fun fact about Purser. Stranger Things was actually her very first role on the screen. While she had always had a flair for acting, nothing worked out until the Duffers came along. And now, Charlie Heaton has an English accent. We've lost count of British stars who keep on switching up their accents for movies. There's the very English Tom Holland who turns into New York's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man at the drop of a hat. Benedict Cumberbatch who's a British sociopath one moment and a very American Doctor Strange the next. Turns out Charlie Heaton, aka Jonathan Byers, is on the same boat. Despite his accent on the show, Heaton was born in East Yorkshire and later moved to London. But one of the funniest side effects of his accent switch was that he had a hard time saying Nancy's name.
Nancy, please tell me you're joking.
It's not a joke.
As weird as it sounds, and as unnoticeable it might have been on the show, Nancy was a bit of a trouble for him. For some reason, he kept saying the name in his native accent, which is pretty strong, we might add. The crew had to re-record Jonathan's dialogues to make it sound more American each time. Considering the amount of time he says her name, we're guessing a lot of re-recording had to be done. Did you know Gaten Matarazin is fighting a disorder? Dustin might be busy playing Dungeons & Dragons and worrying about the Upside Down on screen, but behind the scenes, the actor has to put up a fight against cleidocranial dysplasia every day. It's a rare genetic condition condition that affects a person's teeth and bones, making them more fragile than a healthy person's. Because of this condition, Gayton had to wear fake teeth while filming. Apparently, the young actor lost out on about 100 roles because of CCD, but Stranger Things really turned things around for him. Now he's using his celebrity status to spread awareness about his disorder. Is it possible to like Dustin anymore? Next, Robin comes from fame. Robin Buckley was the newest, a little unexpected addition to the gang, but she was an instant hit with the fans. Hers and Steve's fun banter was one of the best parts about the season. Let's just say we won't be surprised if she returns in Stranger Things Season 4. Robin might be working the ice cream counter in that ridiculous sailor uniform, but in reality, Robin comes from Hollywood fame. The actress's full name is Maya Hawke. Hawke as in Ethan Hawke, the totally swoon-worthy stranger from the romance classic Before Sunrise. Maya's mom is no slacker either. You might know her as Poison Ivy from 1997 Batman and Robin. Yep, Uma Thurman is her mother. Talk about pressure. And now, method acting is the way to go for David Harbour. Chief Hopper went from being a loner who kept to himself to becoming a protective father figure for Elle, which we gotta be honest, was one of the most wholesome character arcs on the show, right next to Steve's of course. Apparently Harbour resorted to some method acting to make his character so believable. He basically became Hopper for a couple months and spent a lot of time sitting alone in his apartment smoking cigarettes. Not just that, on the first day of filming he kept his chair to his side and sort of separated himself from the children. Talk about getting into character. He believed the distance would help the younger cast see him as much more intimidating adult, which was basically their relationship dynamic in the first season. But after going to hell and back with the kids, their relationship changed both on and off the screen. They're all pretty tight now. Finally, Joe Keery is all rainbows and unicorns behind the scenes. When we first met Steve Harrington, we were quick to write him off as the quintessential jerk jock. How could we not? He was Mr. Popular with the hair, the Ray-Bans, and the popped collar. But apparently Joe Keery is nothing like his on-screen character, and believe it or not, the Duffers literally changed the script for him. Apparently they had initially planned to write him off, but once the producers started getting to know Keery, they decided to rewrite his entire character. According to Matt Duffer himself, when we were writing season 1, we realized we wanted to give him more of an arc. And boy, some arc that was. He quickly went from being the most hated one on the show to the most loved character. If it weren't for Joe's awesomeness, we would have been deprived of all the Dustin and Steve moments on the show. And that about wraps up our video for today, folks. What shocked you the most about the secret life of the Stranger Things cast? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one!